In a recent interview, James Gunn was asked about the famous Bat embargo, aka when a director gets their hand on Batman, they lock away characters, villains, and whatever they can so another person can't use it. This has been something that WB has been dealing with for the better part of 20 years. So James Gunn sets the record straight on what Matt Reeves is not allowing him to use. So if you're new around here, chances are you might never have heard of the Bat embargo, and if you're old, chances are you remember what it is. But just so we're all on the same page, the same play field, if you will, the Bat embargo is something that goes all the way back to the early 2000s, and it's largely attributed to Chris Nolan. Essentially, when Chris Nolan's Batman Begins ended up doing decent enough to greenlight a sequel, he wanted to take the character and put him behind an embargo, aka only he can use that character, his villains, and Gotham. And at that time, WB was still not really sure whether or not that was going to be a full-time thing. They tried to get a Justice League film off the ground, Justice League Mortal. I did a whole what-if video on that. You guys can check it out. I go a lot more in-depth on it. But essentially, once The Dark Knight ended up being the hit that it was, the embargo was in full play. And pretty much everybody in WB started embargoing characters and blocking others from using them, and it's still a nightmare today. So this was recently brought up to James Gunn in regards to the whole embargo situation for his universe with Batman Brave and the Bold, the DCU, and of course, Matt Reeves, because, hey, what's going to happen when you both want to use the same character? That's going to be an issue, right? Because of embargoes and whether or not one person wants to give that up. James Gunn replied to this by saying, well, not really. There's really no issues. He said that both Matt Reeves' epic crime saga and the DC universe are part of DC Studios. And they're taking into account what the other person is doing and what the other person is using. And if somebody wants to do something else with a character, that they're obviously going to talk to each other since they're under the same umbrella. So again, this is counter to how the old regime worked. Do you guys remember watching Arrow back in the early days, or maybe like the mid days of Arrow, where they were introducing Task Force X and Suicide Squad, and suddenly they announce a film, and they literally had to just dead stop mentioning that, drop all the storylines because of embargoes. That was the issue. They actually slapped CW with embargoes to the extent that you wouldn't understand. I talked to somebody that worked on one of those shows who I know personally, and what he told me about what they were allowed to do, and then they get 6 weeks into it and they're told, nope, and they had to scrap everything that they were doing before they could even shoot a specific thing, mind-blowing. And this only got worse with the DC universe on TV and other things. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.